Yeah, bee pollen's no joke, man. Talk about B vitamins. I mean, that's
It's interesting.
Yeah, I notice a serious difference. I go through kicks with all these different things. Like,
Yeah.
like there was a phase for a while there, like when I was fasting a lot, where I would like fast and then I could just take bee pollen and I would like feel it just like course my veins and get this crazy energy that was no relationship to calories whatsoever. It's like, okay, explain this, right?
And there's research with bee pollen. I was looking at this. I did a reel about this. Like, bee products are so fascinating. Propolis has unique benefits, probably immune benefits with propolis. But propolis is like this sticky black stuff that it's like bee glue. Yeah. And propolis doesn't really have the same, it's harder to eat propolis. It has like a strong flavor. And then royal jelly and bee pollen both have effects on hormones. I mean, I think there's studies for both bee pollen and royal jelly raising testosterone. Yeah. That's fascinating. Like, okay. And royal jelly you can find good producers. You usually have to find like a good bee farm to get your royal jelly. But it's out there. And you ever had royal jelly?
It's been a while, but yeah.
It's kind of like, it kind of tastes like fermented honey.
What exactly is it? How does it?
So royal jelly is really interesting. When bees make a hive, right? There are drones, there are worker bees, and there's one queen. And when the brood, so I'm not a bee expert, but I had a bee expert on my podcast, so I might get this wrong, but I'm going to try and say it all as accurately as possible. When the bees create a new colony, they choose 4 or 5 potential larvae to become queens. And they feed those larvae only royal jelly. All the rest of the larvae in the hive gets fed some royal jelly and mostly honey. So bees make honey to feed the brood. Yeah. But the larvae that are fed only royal jelly become the queen. And the first queen to emerge goes and kills the other ones. So it's like Game of Thrones stuff here. So like the hive can only have one queen. And the way they make the queen is they feed this royal jelly, which I believe is I think one of the worker bees or drones like actually makes the royal jelly, maybe in combination with honey, because it tastes like it has some kind of honey in it, but it's very different than honey. It looks different, it tastes different. And they feed that exclusively to these queen candidates. And then the first one to mature kills the other ones and becomes the queen. I
love bees. They're
they're so cool.
The coolest.
They are so cool.
They're just so dang cool. And if you look back in any spiritual writings, I mean, like they're practically sacred. Like bees are like one of the most just worship is the wrong word, but just respected and cherished and like so important and symbolic and spiritually active. Like these are like such important creatures for survival across like the entire ecosystem.
Which is why it's so sad that so much honey is like contaminated with glyphosate, and it's so hard. And you think about bees, like if bees die, we are dead as humans because our food supply will collapse. Yeah. We rely on bees to pollinate the plants that make food that we eat. I mean, bees are essential. I don't think it's a good thing, but again, I think I'm going to say this correctly. There is a large colony of bees that get shipped around the country to pollinate the almonds. And I'm not a huge fan of the almond farming industry, but bees actually there's like bee trafficking, it's so like bees are trafficked around the country and used to pollinate cash crops, avocados, almonds. And neither here nor there, but that is how these crops are pollinated. If bees collapse or bees are not healthy, the almond industry would collapse. Yeah. And I'm not a huge fan of almonds in general, or the almond industry with the amount of pesticides or the amount of water they use, but like bees are essential. And so at Lineage, we actually tested 2 of the major manufacturers in the US for glyphosate, and they both came back dirty. We source 100% of our honey from the Yucatan, and we always test it for glyphosate. It's super interesting. Like, so you have to almost go, I'm not going to say there are no US honeys that are glyphosate free, but it's hard. It's much harder I feel actually better about non-US honey in terms of glyphosate contamination than US honey now, because it's hard to find it.
Yeah.
You almost have to go to honeys outside of the US to find them really clean from that pesticide.